Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Beauty by Cara. It's your girl Chanel, and in this video we're going to be talking about how and how you can budget like a boss. In one of my videos previously that I made, I spoke a little bit about as single moms, and this is not just for single moms, but as single moms, how it is crucial to make sure that you are grasping every part of your life, organizing every part of your life correctly to the best of your ability, and your finances are one of those parts that you have to be on top of for yourself and for your kids. Now, when you are working with one income, for the most part, you're living in a state like I'm living in, New York City, it is not easy to, nor is it always fun, right, to stay on a budget. I'm going to be very, very transparent. It is not always fun, but it is always worth it. In the long run, it will be worth it. And when you do this, you're setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up to not be stressed all the time. You're also setting up your children for success. Many people who are budgeting or trying to get on the road to budgeting, feel stressed. They feel overwhelmed by the thought of having to budget. And they think of, when they think of budgeting, that they have to deprive themselves of things that are fun, and you don't have to do that. You just have to learn how to scale back on things that are not always necessary in this season in your life. And this is a skill that can be learned by anyone. It takes patience. It takes you sitting down with your book and your pen, or you could create something digitally, and really thinking about your life and what you do, what your expenses are, and what you can adjust in order to eventually be financially free. Doing that is budgeting yourself and being a big financial boss. Now, am I a millionaire at this moment? No, but I will be. If your mindset is that way, your vision boards are on track, you're going to be making choices every day that you're going to think about what you're doing. I was having a girls' night with my friends the other day, and one of my friends was ordering pizza, and the fees on Grubhub came up to about, and I'm in New York City, the fees for Grubhub for ordering 2 pies was like $15. Now y'all know back in the day, one Domino's pizza was $5. They gave you $5 pies, right? So now all the taxes and fees just for ordering is almost 3 pies just for the fees. So she thought about it and then decided not to order through Grubhub. Let me just try to call them, or I think she ordered it straight through Domino's. But it's just about thinking, right? Thinking about what you're about to do. It's always a thought. You have to think about what you're doing. It's your money, and those things add up. Many people struggle with budgeting, often feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and unsure where to start. People think it's about depriving themselves about things they want to do, things they want to enjoy in life, but that's not the case. And also, if you're not good with numbers, God forbid if we're not good with numbers, we feel like, oh, this is not for us. I can't do this. We're just gonna figure it out as we go along. But the truth is, budgeting is a skill that any one of us can learn. It's a life skill. It's not just, you don't need to go to college to learn how to budget. This is a life skill that actually we should be teaching our kids in school, financial literacy, right? And if we know how to budget, it is the most powerful tool that we can use to eventually have financial freedom. If we don't know how to budget, we're going to be leaving our financial future up just for chance. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't live up just for chance. I hear some people saying, I don't know, and this is in different aspects, right? But even with money, I'm just going to leave it up to chance, or I'm just going to leave it up to God. I'm going to just let it sit there and I'll figure it out as I go along. No, if we do not do what is needed, do the steps that is needed, how do we feel and how do we expect God to be backing us? We need to make those steps. One of the main reasons people struggle with budgeting, and I know this is why I did, is because I didn't know where to start. You try to create a budget from scratch, but you don't know what to include. You don't know what to not include. You have cash, or am I doing it digitally? It's a whole lot of choices. Or some people might try to use this one-size-fits-all approach. And the key is listening to different strategies from different people, seeing what aligns to your life. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's expenses is different. Where you live makes a big difference. You know, living in the city in New York City opposed to someone living out in Indiana, Oklahoma, it is a different approach that you're going to take. So for instance, this is just a quick example. I'm in New York City, right? I don't have to drive. You may, in a different state, have to drive. So one thing that'll basically be in your budget and something that you may need than someone else may be a car. And then therefore you will have to budget in what? You'll have to budget in gas, you have to budget in maintenance of a car, the lease or the payment for the car, and the insurance for the car, as opposed to somebody in New York City that doesn't have to have a car. Now I have a car. Do I have to have one? No. But I also have kids, and that's another thing. The key is finding what works for you, not what works against you. We're not just going to see how we could cut back on our expenses. We're not going to eat out, and we're not going to spend money on clothes. But it's also about how we allocate our money. Where do we put our money? And once you're able to do this right, you'll be very amazed. And it is going to take you some time to see and reap the benefits of it, right? Immediately, you're going to see money being allocated to different parts. And you're going to, within 6 months to a year, see the difference of what you have. And a little bit adds up. So one thing I know that people do, and I tried it, is this 50-30-20 rule, where you use 50% of what you make allocated to your expenses, whether it is your rent, your mortgage, your car note, the groceries, that is allocated to your expenses. And then 30% of it can be put to discretionary expenses like hobbies, entertainment, travel. And 20% goes towards debt and savings. Now, this is just a starting point. This also doesn't have to be how you map out yours, right? If you are a single mother, that may look different, right? It may to be 60% on expenses because, you know, you just have to do more for yourself. If you're a person living at home with your parents, the expenses may be less and your savings may be more, right? So it depends on where you are. So you're going to look at where you are in life. Think about your expenses first. What are the things I have to spend money on? After you add that up and put that to the side, then you're going to see how much you could save. After you put that to the side, see what you're paying for debt, and then your hobbies and your entertainment come after, and that you can map that out however you would like. You want to do 30% to debt and savings, and then 20% to, you know, travel and stuff like that. I honestly feel like that is the best. That is the best one. Hobbies, entertainment, depending on where you are in your life and what time in your life, you need to make that the least pool. Now, tracking your expenses is a whole other part that is crucial to making sure you budget like a boss. This means writing down every single transaction that you make. I have a binder that I use that I write down my transactions. I keep a close watch of my Chase account, of what is coming out, what I'm putting in, like a close watch. I look at it all the time. It might seem tedious, but trust me, if you do this, you are able to see how you're spending, what you're spending things on, and how you can make better decisions. When you track your expenses, you see patterns and trends of what you do. It is a very big and great reflection tool of who you are, when you spend money. If you emotionally are spending money at a certain time of the month, something happened to you and then you wanted to just go out and do certain things, and how you're spending your money lets you reflect on yourself and what you need to do differently. And when you combine this with a 50-30-20 rule, or a 60-30-10 rule, or whatever the rule is that you want to follow and map out for yourself, when you combine that with tracking what you're doing, you're going to be unstoppable. There's some people I know use the app Rocket Money, and I actually tried it, but I'm a person that likes to write down things myself and keep track in my binder. I'm going to show you guys my binder. That helps me better. Me writing and being able to take it in is what helps me. It's also nice to see what they thought. So there were certain things, like maybe my Verizon bill, that they had said in the app, well, we could try to get your Verizon bill lowered if you switch to this. It was like a offer that they had. So it's not gonna hurt to try it. And also a great thing about that app I thought was cool is that they let you choose how much you wanted to pay. Like it said, you want to choose $10 a month, $6 a month, $3 a month. I thought that was cool. So it helps you track it, and maybe that's the place that a lot of people need to start before they start tracking it themselves, just to see how, you know, it should be broken down. But because I already was tracking myself for the past 2-3 years and doing it diligently, it wasn't necessary for me to have it, but I wanted to try it out. So if you're not starting out, that is a great place to start. This might seem obvious, but so many people, I don't know if you talk to certain people, oh, if I won the lottery, oh, I'm gonna save $1 million this year. You don't even make $1 million to save $1 million, sweetheart. It's those type of things. Knowing that you want to save a certain amount of money, but you also want to go on vacations. Like, let's be realistic. Map out your stuff. Be realistic with yourself, what you like to do. No one is saying not to enjoy your life, but bring it down a notch. And when you give yourself unrealistic goals, you're setting yourself up for failure, because it's not going to stay long, and then you're going to say, oh, you see, it can't be done. Well, your goals weren't realistic. It's the same thing as if you want to lose weight. Oh, I'm losing 50 pounds this month. Okay. Set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant to your life. This will give you a clear direction and motivate you to stay on track. My realistic financial goals for this year is to save another $5,000 in my emergency funds, put $6,000 to $7,000, add that to my S&P 500 folder, and to make sure my credit usage stays low. So any procession overtime I'm doing, that's going straight to my credit card. Base salary and what I get in, that's already allocated to my savings and other things. So any extra processions I get, I'm throwing it to my credit to make sure my credit usage is staying low. That's my goals, that's my plan. So the key insight here is that budget isn't about restriction. It's about empowering yourself to make better choices, to then be a boss and live on a budget to finally be financially free. When you have a budget, you're not limited to your income. That is something that you kind of got to get out of your head. You really only are limited by the thoughts that you put into your mind. You make decisions that align to your values, your goals, and then you could create a financial future that is truly fulfilling for yourself and your family. And that's the greatest thing. Budgeting is about, it's not just about managing your money, it's about creating this life that you want for yourself. Is it going to be right now? No. Creating, being that it will actually happen in the near future. Take these strategies and implement them now. Let me know what you guys are doing to budget yourself this year, what different strategies you're using. As always, with love, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share this video. Bye.